Hi Leo, and thank you for joining me today, and welcome to this reading for the latter part of the year, which is, I believe, July through December. So this is a focal reading for the latter part of the year. This is your reading for the whole year overview. The detailed reading is linked down below, but in the meantime, let me explain some of these cards and what it generally means. And if you want to see it in detail, then you can check that link. Also, I did a astrology reading for the latter part of the year, July through December, so you can check that out as well. Okay, so what we see is a reward period in which you are stepping into your personal power, particularly in the second part of the year. So I feel as though I didn't want to be too discouraging in the first part of the year, but I think until you make a drastic decision and until someone very important enters your life will be suspended in a certain way, and you'll be waiting for that time to move forward with things. And that will happen once that happens. It can happen as early as March, but it can happen as late as September, when a bunch of planets go forward in your 6th house of service. So be patient with the time frame. Everybody's unique and individual, and so that will be different as well. By the way, I don't know if I clarified, but I do have 2 astrology readings, one for the first part of the year and then the second one, which is just published for the second part, and those are astrological overviews that are clarifying what's going on in terms of the astrology, and they're meant to be a supplement to these readings, so they're not in great astrological detail, but I do make mention of it, so I wanted to give you guys some content that you guys can refer and understand the astrology. I also did a horoscope reading for Instagram, on which we did that horoscope spread with the 12 different houses, and so that is clarified on Vimeo for rent until the Instagram post reaches 500 hearts, at which time I will make some, if not all, of the videos available on YouTube. So maybe by the time you're watching this video, there's a lot of free content available. Everything is clarified in the About section below, as obviously at the time of filming I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so, well, I do have an idea, I mean about the Instagram post. That was really funny. Okay, so it looks as though you're stepping into a really wonderful love life, the right path for you to take, the right direction. You feel personal empowerment. You've gone through a change and transformation already by the time you're watching this, and now you are kind of consolidating power and understanding why everything happened the way that it did. So that's the general overview for the year. If you're not here yet, this is going to be your August through, or July through December. So you're still working through these energies. If you're still waiting, just be patient. That's the main channeled message that I'm getting for you guys. Patience, patience, patience. See the circumstances through and allow everything to just happen at the right time and in the right way, and it will be positive. Your life is going to be positive. It's going in good direction, so don't be worried at all, Leo. This is definitely one of my favorite readings. I think you're the 9th sign I'm reading for, so I do believe that this year for you, it's a really positive year. I think Capricorn's chart is more active. Their astrology and their tarot is more active, but that active does not mean positive, and I feel as though it's, for you, it's really nice, really nice energy. So let's see if that continues in the latter part of the year. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams, and then I'm going to use the Cosmic Tarot to clarify. So I've done this spread before for December, and this is a kind of a take on some Lenormand spreads, and I'm using the full 22 cards of the Tarot of Dreams. So if you want to look at any card in more detail, I would recommend that you Google them. They're available. It's a popular deck, so if you want to see something in detail, just follow along with Google. In the meantime, I'll just quickly lay them out because I use the entire deck. Okay, so your first message, we have the message of Temperance, which is the sign of Sagittarius. Careful combination of energy. So for your yearly reading, we had this in your social life. So I feel as though your social life is very much a catalyst for a lot of success. Lovers, the devil. I lay out the cards really quick and then we'll go into it deeper. At the center of the reading is informed by the star. The star was also very significant for you in your whole overview reading. That can mean that Aquarian people are very important, or it's the entering of some kind of soulmate, some type of wonderful person coming into your life. Hanged Man, the death card. Okay, well, if you got to get it out of the way, you got to get it out of the way, right? Okay, so we have all of the difficult cards came up, or can come up all together, but they will come up somewhere in your reading, so don't be shy. Let me just make room for one more, and if it's the Tower, I'll just giggle my heart away. But that means that good things are coming. Okay, so you have Emperor. So your relationship will be very significant for you in overcoming whatever it is you're going through. Justice, okay. Let's see, the Tower came through in, let's see. Okay, this is a really good position. It actually means that this is a year in which your loneliness will be shattered, and then and it's important for you to really understand when and how. Core card, the Magician. The Magician also came through. I think your social life is a catalyst for great personal change and progress. I feel as though you will be embarking on new opportunities with regard to fairness and equity between yourself and others. The Moon. And then we have the Hermit. Okay. So maybe for some of you Leos, a connection with a Virgo will come up for you, particularly towards the end of the year. This is someone who you finally kind of understand why they are a bit of a loner, why they do things the way that they do. It could have been something that you didn't necessarily understand before, that you didn't resonate with, but this year is going to really teach you how and why and what. The next message is the Empress. Okay, so especially here we have Lilith moving into Aquarius, which is your 7th house of partnership in the fall, and so you want to maybe watch the astrology video before we get into this any deeper. Go link it down below. Excuse me, check it out and link it down below. But we have the Empress bringing you maybe some types of challenges, or your relationship based on kind of the Empress energy, bringing you some type of challenge. Next we have the Hierophant, insight and intuition into circumstances. Okay, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so I feel as though you're very strongly moving away from a pre-described traditional order and going in a different direction. That started off early on in the year, and it will continue throughout this year. The next message is the Leo card, or Strength. This is your card. This was the outcome card for the year, so we're on point with that. And then we have the Sun. In this position, I just feel like you're stepping into some really big happiness, and it's earned. It's all earned, like you've earned it, and that's the magical part of it. We have Judgment in this position. Again, a very prominent position for this card, making huge change and transformation in your life. And the Chariot, total overcoming, abandonment, finding a solution to all things, and making the choice to travel, making the choice to change your world, change your life. I feel like in this position it's really, really something. Taking a personal journey in some direction, Leo. Really huge change and transformation is upon you. You're the maker of your own life. I feel as though you have chosen to destroy loneliness in your life, aloneness. I feel as though that Saturn in Sag was just, it was the ticket that you needed. I think that it was one of them. When I looked at that transit for you guys, I was emotionally impacted. And although my son is a Leo Virgo sun, I don't think that for me personally that was the transit, but I feel like for you guys, maybe early on, like in 2015, but for you guys, I think it was just such an important thing in your life. And many of you, I spoke about it with sympathy, because I understand it was a difficult one, and there was, you know, for each of you, it could have been a difficult experience, but I feel as though it leading up to that transit, Leos were accepting loneliness as a facet of your generosity towards other people. I don't know if that makes sense. So you were accepting less than you deserve, basically, in your life, and that was causing you to toe the line, a form of codependency, toe the line in relationships that were not reciprocating for you in terms of, you know, emotional reciprocity and giving. So you were involved in all these relationships that were limiting you in some way, or holding you back, or saying no, this is no, or you can't, you know, just in some way kind of shortchanging you on the energy that you were putting into them. And I feel as though that destruction had to happen, and that coincided with, you know, maybe just leaving an institution right behind and being like, this is a bunch of, you know, mumbo jumbo, it doesn't resonate for me anymore. And there could have been a female energy that tried to influence you to stay put, to hold on to it. And maybe your ambition to be a mother for some of you, or your ambition to be more feminine, held you back from making these changes. But I think that there was no holding you back, and you had to do it. And I think that at first it felt really overwhelming, and I think at first you felt as though you wouldn't be able to ever free yourself. But I feel as though there was a turn in fortune, and someone came in that was amazing for you. That person sparked for you a revolution, and really took you in a new direction and freed you to the point of personal empowerment, where you were able to actually actualize that which was inside, that all the lessons that Saturn taught you in Sagittarius, and you basically freed yourself. And it was this chance meeting, chance connection, you know, chance meeting, chance connection that in some way liberated you, helped you step into your power, and you will continue in the latter part of this year to step into your power. Now, I don't mean to like just douse you with all this positive messages, but you guys know how I read. Unless there's something good to say, I'm not gonna say it. I always say things with kindness and compassion, or I try to anyway, unless I get in my mood. But that's my Scorpio or Aquarius. I guess that's more of an Aquarius trait. So I apologize for that, but I do try to, at the end of the day, speak with compassion to people, because I appreciate how difficult life can be. But I feel like this reading, it's not that you don't need compassion, because this was really daunting experiences, a destruction of a relationship with a Taurus possibly, and getting trapped and held back and manipulated. I get it, you know, there's been a lot of that going on for Leo, but I feel as though there's also a change in fortune that has happened that you're the benefactor of, and now you are moving to personal empowerment, change, and transformation. And I feel as though you're leading into really wonderful things. The moon here is very prominent. It's a very prominent position, which means that you don't know for sure. There's like a mystery that is a part of your life. And I feel as though the moon was, remember, in this area. So just rewind. I love this. I love how everybody talks as if we're still on tape. But yeah, rewind to the beginning of the video and see where the moon was. It was in that personal area of your life. So in the latter part of the year, you're really reconciling all these different feelings that you're appreciating about your new life, all the different kind of impressions that you see about life, the different kind of thoughts and ideas that wash over you, that are giving you opportunity to in some way relate to life, to deal with life. You know, the influence upon you, you're still figuring out, because it still feels like a mirage. It feels as though there is it can float away at any point in time. You don't know whether it's 100% guaranteed. You want to really figure out for yourself where you can trust. And I feel in the latter part of the year, it is like a spiritual year for you in a certain sense, particularly when the nodes switch in November and you see these kinds of big spiritual questions come through. Leo, what do you want? Who are you? Here is your personal empowerment. Right at the core of the reading, we have the Magician. And so what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to use your resources? And you're like, oh, I'm going to just really resonate with what is right and integrate everything and think about the past, you know, the present and the future, and think about where I'm going to take it and how I'm going to empower my life. Now, if that means within a relationship, this card is very supportive of establishing a relationship and a partnership. However, for some of you, this is like, no, I'm just going to, you know, X out a relationship. This card in this position, this is the Death card. It actually can mean that you're choosing to, you know, be gone with a relationship. Say no more of this relationship, this is done. Or for some of you, this is a Scorpio person with whom you are forming a relationship with. Or possibly this is a change, the fundamental change in the dynamic between you and other people in your family. And so that is leading you towards personally taking ownership over the decisions of your relationships, their structure, but you're doing it from your own place. I really recommend that you see the whole overview reading because it's really strongly coinciding with this one, where you have this kind of sorting things through. So sorting through the imagination, sorting through the impressions, and the directions that your life is going. This is the big completion card. So it's like, you know, you've gotten your payoff this year. There's the soulmate. It comes through right away. You have your relationship. This card, this is the Sun. And in this position, I feel as though it's just like, it's saying, you know, you have the space to look at your shadow. You have the space to begin something new. I feel as though in terms of responsibilities towards certain institutions, I know I said that they're going to break down, but not all your institutional ties are going to break down. And in fact, maybe in education, something's going to be holding you back, or you're going to have to still see something through. So it's not like a wasteland energy, but something really core in your life is just psh, boom, gone, you know. And it's not like yeah, it's just really being taken out of the picture in a big way, and it's just like a clean sweep that is allowing you to do your own thing, but you feel burdened by this. And I feel as though this is maybe more to do with 2017, before, or maybe early part of 2017. I felt as though for some of you at the beginning of 2017 there was this level of delay. There was this level of wait till all this happens. That's what the channeled messages were very clear. It's like, wait till the person comes in, wait till you have to make a certain very big decision. And I feel as though that must happen in the center part of the year somewhere. But you come through with your goal, and you come through with your trajectory. So you set up, this is the direction I'm going to go, this is the mindset I'm going to take, and I'm going to make these giant decisions about who to take back, who to leave behind, how to move forward, in what way, where am I going to be open, where am I going to be closed. This is the card of opening. You're creating a space for something to come in, right? And without the necessity of having something there, you're fine with the way that it is. But there's this question mark. If I were to ask Leo, what's happening? Like, how's it going? If I saw you in October and I'd be like, yo, what's going on? You'll be like, oh, if you were really truthful with me, you would say, I'm kind of figuring it out. You know, like everything feels as though it's actively being processed. The need for active meditation and yoga is constant, but it's mindfulness. Like you're moving forward in a mindful way towards your new directions, towards new opportunities. It's really a wonderful energy, and you're meant to. You're being taught lessons this year that are associated with insight and intuition. You're meant to employ them for your personal empowerment. So if that's okay with you guys, I felt like this is a pretty nice reading. These cards are so beautiful in this spread, aren't they? So I'm going to use the Cosmic Tarot to clarify, if that's okay with you. So we'll spend a few minutes clarifying this reading, but I can go over it again. But I think that you'll get more benefit by watching the first reading and then this one. And I feel as though the energy is, I felt the same way about your reading, the first one. It's very clear. It's not a reading where there's too many, there's intricacies that you figure out, but that's not up for me to tell you. That's for you to direct yourself. But I feel beyond that, it's pretty a linear year. It's like, boom, this is what you're gonna do. You're kind of set up and you're going that direction, and just use it. Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio coming into your life. Some important message, or maybe this is you being highly open, emotionally open this year, Leo. Okay, so let's clarify the Sun, because I like it. I like it in that position. So let's see. The Sun, we have the Prince of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Someone has a deep love for you. Someone understands something, and I think you hit a nerve with someone, and someone is quite obsessed, but not in a negative way, not in a stalker way. I feel as though someone trusts you, someone respects you, and someone wants to be your benefactor in some way. And this person could very well be in the background, so you may not be fully aware that they are there, but they are bringing to you the most positive energy. They love you so much, and they have such a respect for who you are and what you represent. The next message is the Moon. So the Priestess and the Moon, change and transformation within your dreams. So listen to your dreams this year, Leo, and I would really recommend doing a dream journal. I feel as though a lot of this isn't rational thought. So this is the other thing that I will say about your year. It's not a year in which you're calculating. It's not a year in which calculating behavior, deduction of what's right and wrong will get you as far as just trusting your intuition. Okay, so let's see. Let's clarify the Death card in the 6th house. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man. There's an event that happens that you cannot shake. There's an event that happens that you must accept, and I feel as though it could have to do with the health of a relative in which you will have to provide care and support. And so so that's just going to be something matter of fact thing, but it's not going to take away from your general happiness. Then we have the 9 of Cups for the Hermit. So I feel as though your wish is being fulfilled. You are getting what you want out of life, especially in relationships. I forgot to mention the Chariot card in this position. This is the 9 of Cups in terms of the higher arcana. This is God giving you what you want, you know? So whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you've been waiting for, is being provided for you in 2018. And I don't, the reason that I feel so secure and so balanced about this reading for you is that when looking at it, I feel like not only are you getting what you need from life, but you're also the person that you need to be in order to use it well. So it's an efficient reading. As a Virgo, I love efficiency, but it's an efficient reading. You got the Last Judgment just flipped out for the Star. Maybe the return of a past relationship. But yeah, this is an efficient reading in good environment, and the environment is consistently in the year improving for you. So the factors and the influences around you are positive contribution to your life, and they're leading you to good things. I can't say enough nice things about that. I'm happy for you. That's the kind of reading I like. Okay, so let's clarify the Tower. Let's see what's being destroyed for Leo in 2017 or 18. What was the thing that was the destruction? The High Priestess. So some type of identity was destroyed. But it's funny how they're right side by side. So one type of intuition made way for another type of intuition. And I feel as though there could have been, ooh, you can see that moon between them. There could have been significant gossip about you by people who don't care. So we had the Eight of Cups. People who don't care, people who use cards and astrology in order to pull out of situations and circumstances deductions about others, spy on people. So you're dealing with kind of, you know, some morally corrupt type of people who use all sorts of divinatory techniques to try to understand others and thereby create a lot of drama. The card flipped out. I didn't really, because it became a mess, but it was, I'll tell you guys, it was the Two of Cups for sure. And I feel as though one of them is jealous over a man. Here we go, this card showed up. So I feel as though one is jealous over a man, and so that's motivated them. But you know, all this negative energy that they threw and created around you, Leo, is the same kind of energy that is going to pull you out, because they drew the spotlight to you. They drew the spotlight to you, and you were being virtuous. And at the end of the day, hopefully, sometimes behavior and character clarify negative gossip or negative, you know, representations by others, you know, so hateful messages and whatnot. The oncoming energy, the Fool, we have the Five of Wands. So I think you're stressed out about this. I think that, okay, I won't be shy to say it, but I do feel like there is the health condition of a family member that you're going to have to attend to. And it can be mental health, it could be physical health. Mental health is physical health, but we do separate it. So it can be a variety of different things. It doesn't have to be the end of the world, but someone around you is going to need you. And I don't think that it's going to be a question of whether you're going to provide that for them or not. It's just a matter of logistics. And I don't think the logistics are going to be hard either. I don't feel like there's not so much waste in your year. It's a year of, like I said, high efficiency, fulfillment, happiness, and protection. So I don't feel like there's events that happen, you know, health stuff happens. We all die from a health related condition, right? Like every single human being. So the Hanged Man is essentially just a facet of that someone close enough to you needs that help at this time. And I think you're not one to kind of not rise to that challenge. Seven of Wands, so it's like putting yourself out on a limb vis-a-vis other things. I think you're standing up against like an established corporate or institution, something that's already ratified, something that is, you know, within its framework, structured, it's old, it's kind of crackly. You know, it's a belief system that holds you back. And so here is, let's clarify the Devil in that position. That doesn't, I feel like there's women who are jealous of you, Leo. Queen of Pentacles, holding you back through their own belief systems, belief structures, you know, getting you where they want you, and holding you there. And it's your place to break away, if not to totally destroy those relationships, then to break away enough to be self-sufficient and independent and strong and move forward. I feel as though maybe for some of you this will be the relationship that needs your help, but I feel like you're strong, and I feel like you can handle it, where you can help someone and not take on their intrusions. You know, like, I don't know, the stereotype older people, and I'm not being ageist, but older people in some way, you know, telling you how to live your life. You're kind of in a certain way, maybe having to deal with that, but you're not internalizing it. So we had the Queen of Swords pop out. I feel as though there's a lot of women that are intruding, kind of like peeking in, trying to and you're moving past it. You're just like, I'm done with this mess of a hen house, you know. And it can be a bunch of men as well. There's just people who are up your butt with their opinions, and I feel like you're just like, nope. Nope, no thank you. I'm just gonna do me, and I'm gonna get out of life what I want. And there are people who deeply admire you, and there's more people who admire you than the haters. The haters are excuse me, the haters are just loud because they're trying to do something, right? Always remember that there's more good people out there than bad, but the way that we perceive it is that because the bad people kind of act up, they bring about the negative energy, and so it's more prominent because they're acting up. But there are more good people, and I think that you don't need to even sweat this. It's just, I think it gets so kind of out of control in a certain way that you're just like, you are ridiculous. Like, it's a gong show, like the perfect example of a gong show. And the world outcome, you got the world card. I mean, seriously, you're gonna get what you want. Just hunker down, do your own thing, Leo. I think it's really coming together for you. I hope you really enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed giving it to you, and check out my other readings and the supplemental astrology readings, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much, Leo. Bye-bye.